CJ.
Yeah, what happened?
CJ.
What?
This is what winds up on the monitors when I go to do some mental healing.
Were you watching my monitors?
What?
Why are you watching my monitors?
What?
I told you before you even left, nothing good will come of you looking at my monitors.
Burn it.
I've been asking you, could we burn all this shit down?
Throw it out.
All of a sudden, now we get to throw it out? Now we're throwing it out?
What are we throwing out?
Who burned the eggs?
Old opinions in the
Who
morning.
burned the eggs?
AM assaults to personhood. Tossed salad and scrambled eggs.
Wait a minute. What are we talking about here? Wait a minute.
They're calling again. It's Mook in the morning, y'all. But more importantly, it seems you're still here. It's been a minute. And your captain's happy to see you. It's Marooned. Joining me as always, once again, happy to be here, I'm sure. CJ. C-Win. How the fuck you two been? And what is this shit on my screen?
Disclaimer, Juicer. Yeah, smell that smoke. The views and opinions expressed on this program are strictly those of each of the hosts and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of associated brands or figures. And it's all about understanding, y'all. It's all about understanding. Peace.
Man, see? That's exactly why I got a little scratch in the throat now. I'm never gonna get used to that.
Yeah, all that sage and shit. I don't even know why it's in there. I just buy the shit as it is.
Just comes as is, huh? Pre-packaged smoke for all, huh?
That's right.
Oof. Well, it definitely clears the air. It does its job. But I think maybe Chris might be able to shed a bit of light. What do you think was meant to be said before we go into what wound up being said?
Like where did it just go ape shit? Overall or just this particular part?
Right here, before the subject of our episode arrives, where would you say at the end of this conversation here that it kind of made that turn that led us to the three-ring circus that we encounter in the coming moments?
Yes. Well, all right, with my expert analysis, well, so what had happened was, y'all, because once you actually hear what the question was, the intent being that men and women, they approach and look at flirting slightly different oftentimes. However, the wording of how that was delivered, it took the subject matter away from flirting in the context of a committed relationship to equality between men and women. And the events that you're about to see that transpired were clearly the result of somebody who caught the end of that and then didn't get the context before, because the fact that they delved specifically on that part but not bringing it back to the subject, which was flirting while within a committed relationship, is pretty much the result of everything you see.
And as it follows, we're happy to have y'all with us. Strap on in. Here we go. Quartermaster, slam it.
I think I got it.
Let me give them some context too real quick. For those of you who don't know, this is Chris Win the Emma speaking. I'm on multiple shows. I'm a personality. I do a lot of things. I've got several different families.
Shadow stepping
Yeah.
son of a.
Yeah, because I got to keep an eye on everybody just to see where people are at so that we can produce this understanding in the world. And some people think very differently from other people that I deal with, and I hate to say it, but I am enjoying trudging through the muck of seeing what bridges can be built and which ones cannot. So it's definitely an educational experience. So on that, take it with a grain of salt. This is the captain's ship. Let him let him express and say what he got to say. Let the cap do what he got to do. It just makes the ship fly so much smoother when he does. That's all I'm asking.
It's nothing personal, mate. I'm just doing me. No need to get upset, but
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't help.
Well, when you're good at riling up the right folks, it really helps others have the confidence to call things out when they catch the wrong wind.
No pun intended.
Are you sure? I don't feel like that's true either.
You don't try every time. It just happens.
You lucky it ain't no other smoke bombs in here for me to throw at you.
Well, you could at least light that fuse while we burn through this one.
You know, it's about to be a good little wind track.
The celebration poses, if only you could see.
It's all about feeling it. We'll get to that point one day.
Yeah. You just got to use that mind's eye of yours for now.
Captain in the morning? Captain in eggs?
Captain eggs.
A cap in eggs. There you go.
I'm really in favor of normalizing being quiet in the morning, so I don't know if I can ride with you on that one.
Mute in the morning?
Oh,
Damn.
yes. Please and thank you.
Silence.
Thank you indeed. Press play, my magical friend.
Great, how you doing?
All right.
All right, now.
My question is, in a committed relationship, is what level of flirting is allowed, or is it allowed?
Okay, that's a good question. That's a real good question. I don't know if you're gonna really like this answer.
Let's hear it.
Okay, I'm just bringing the team back. In a committed relationship, what type of flirting is allowed? Okay, now that question. Okay, that question, right? I'm sorry. I'm trying to bring up the Zoom. That question really.
Answer the question.
Right. Okay, I'm sorry.
Answer the question.
Right. Okay, I'm sorry. Give me a second. Okay. All right. Answer me the question again so I can get it fresh in my head, the answer right. I had to bring up the Zoom.
If you're in a committed relationship, is flirting allowed or okay with you?
Okay, this is the deal. In a committed relationship, flirting. I mean, listen, man. Come on, y'all. Let's be real with each other. All right? Everybody flirts.
Okay.
One way or another, everybody flirts. But when you're in a committed relationship, the flirting, the flirting, it can't be too much, and it can't be at all when you with your commitment. You know what I'm saying? When you with your commitment, you can't be walking in the street flirting. You can't be at a party flirting. You can't be having dinner in a restaurant flirting with somebody else. You know what I'm saying? In a committed relationship, the only type of flirting you can do is when that person is not around. And then at that point, then you got to say, okay, is I'm flirting just to flirt? Or I'm flirting because I want something to happen behind this. Now, if you really want something to happen behind this, then you're wrong. You're
Right.
dead wrong.
Yeah, but if you're not okay, so you're talking about when you're with that committed person, but if you're outside, you're not with the committed person, and you just somebody on the street says something to you or whatever, and you have an exchange, or that person makes you laugh. Do you feel that that's somehow not fair to that committed person?
Let me go deep. Hey, like I said, you might not like all these answers to the question. All right, but the deal is this, right? When you're in a relationship, I don't want nobody throwing spears at me and shit. When you're in a relationship,
I feel you on this one. I really do. Not everyone likes my answers to things either. I really do. It really sucks when people try to chuck spears at you for just giving your opinion on something, huh? Just sharing your little 2 cents, and suddenly you got 3 essay videos and 2 costume changes worth of hate mail.
Man, that really sounds like some foreshadowing now that we already know what's coming.
You mean the shadow of an impending dumb?
If you want to call it that, I had some less nice words. Don't do it. We already had conversations about it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Redacted. Proceed. Proceed.
you cannot. A woman don't have the same power as a man. Okay, let's just bring this shit out. A woman can't do what a man do. All right. When you flirt, let me just keep it real. Women, when you go out there and flirt, you are disrespecting your man to the fullest. All right? Because when you go out there and flirt, I can see if you says, hey, and just keep it moving. But when you stop, because a man says something and you like, let me entertain this for a little bit. When you put that in your head, I'm just gonna entertain this dude for a little bit. You don't have no real intentions of doing nothing but just entertaining him.
Yeah.
You're wrong.
That's flirting. But that's flirting.
But you're wrong. Because
why?
your flirtiness as a woman is not more powerful than this man attempt to capture you. Okay? You think you're just flirting, but by you flirting, this is first base for this man. Okay? He didn't say, I'm here now. Shit, I got her laughing. I got her smiling. I got her responding. That's the biggest thing. He got you responding. Once he got you responding, then the response, he gets to build it up. He gets to ask you more questions. He get to play around with you a little bit more. Next thing you know it, your little walk by, pass by, eye contact, stop for 20 seconds, turn into 5-7 minutes, and numbers exchanging. You know what I'm saying? That's why you don't stop for the flirting. You don't stop for the conversation. When you're a woman, don't hear me out, y'all. Don't take me wrong, and don't throw them darts and them spears. But you have no control, or I shouldn't say no control, because there are some women that do have. But the chances of you being in control are very, very slim. Once you stop and give the man conversation, what you're supposed to do is accept the compliment. Oh, thank you, and keep it moving.
Got it. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's what you're supposed to do. Accept the compliment and keep it moving, and don't never be disrespectful to the man when he says something. If the man say, hey, pretty thing, fuck you, nigga. No, he might smack the shit out of you. So don't never disrespect the dude. Whatever. If he says some derogatory shit to you as you pass him by, then you just ignore that and keep walking. You don't stop and say, what you say, nigga? Nah, don't do that. Just keep walking. Keep class and ladiness.
Last point. Flip it on the other side. A man's flirting.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You saying that a man is going to know when to turn it off? That's what you tried to say? Because what about...
Hey, I'm gonna put it in simple forms, right? And I didn't say this. Nitty said this. Nitty said this. Look in the notes. It probably was in the last one before we got hooked up, cut off. But Nitty said men are dogs. So no, when a man is doing it, no, he ain't doing it to flirt. He's doing it because he want to do it. You know, he want to do it. Whoa, look at that right there. Damn, I want to hit that. Boom. All right. Hey, baby, how you doing? You know, he gonna go into his thing. He gonna throw his jazz, his coolness on, and if she accept it, yo, then she messed up. He scored. She messed up. You know, listen, it's not an even world, ladies. It is not a fair world. You know, that men, women, I can do what a man do, and no, you cannot.
Yeah, so I want to get into that before we get into the buggy of the episode. Why is it that I can't flirt the same way a man can flirt?
Must be flirting. You can't just have a good conversation and become somebody's friend. Must be a plot to get that booty.
Well, you've seen me do this at parties before. Oh my God, I greatly enjoyed that conversation we had. I'm gonna have to be able to talk to you later. Do you have Facebook? I'm gonna add you on Facebook. He's already made the point that there's a line. There's boundaries here. You can't flirt too much. That speaks to boundaries to me. Mm-hmm. And you shouldn't flirt when your partner is with you. That speaks to respecting the person that you're with, not just being about the commitment, whatever that may be. So why is it that it's whatever for him to be joking around and having a little fun, but I've just committed a cardinal sin?
Well,
if you were to just do the same thing?
Yeah.
Right. So first thing, folks, that you need to start putting into your little repertoire is if you communicate with your partner and you know your partner, you know the extent of how far you can go with things. Like, you know, oh, okay, well, that's just her being her or whatever. It didn't have to be a thing, but if you're not communicating with each other and then letting your partner know what you're uncomfortable with or whatever, because you can't get mad at something that somebody didn't know they couldn't do and it was something that they've always done, you know. But if you let them know, like, hey, when you were going a little too far right there, I was uncomfortable with that, and then give them the choice of whether or not to, you know, go along with that. If they don't, they're probably not the one for you. If you tell them how you feel and they still do it, knowing how it impacts you, then yeah, you probably gotta make new arrangements. But outside of that, it doesn't look the same for everybody. So,
and I can agree with that and add to it. If you've come to your partner with something you told them makes you uncomfortable and they tell you you're being insecure, that's also a red flag.
Gaslighting. Shout outs to Denzel and Cammy. Thank you guys so much for your cameo. Made my little surprise birthday gathering very special. Always delightful to see the two of you.
Indeed.
The embodiment of wholesome goodness.
Everybody that came, just a great bunch of folks.
Indeed. With the brick wall of can always take a joke and always coming up with the next idea. Like constantly rubbing his hands together, straight plotting on the next move. I love that ambition from him. I really do. Truly. And his little brother looks like he's got some interesting ideas.
Mm-hmm.
I'd keep the cats away from him, though.
Eat more salad. You said you were gonna.
Accountability.
Whoa. Another episode.
Oh, yeah.
But for now, anything else you wanted to add on to that, Amiga, before we continue this trial run here?
No, that was just my little extra bit of me so nobody tells you I don't talk enough again.
Very well. Feminist approved. Engage.
Don't believe the hype. You cannot do what a man do because you reclassify yourself. When you try to do what a man do, you reclassify yourself. And you know what y'all reclassify yourself as?
What?
Hoes.
Oh, we go back to the hoes again. All
Back
right.
to the hoes.
So there are men out here who they could just be as genuine and kind and whatever else, but because the general consensus is that men are dogs, anything you say will be interpreted as flirting. It's in some cases, it'll be women who may actually be attracted to you somewhat, and you could just be speaking just regular old neutral stuff, but then to her, like it sounds like, oh, okay, maybe he likes me or whatever. It happens both ways, and so not all men are dogs, but the fact that that's kind of out there, that's kind of what you're dealing with, no matter like what kind of dude you are. Like, just know that that's kind of out there in the air. So it's like, so if you need to address it, then you can wrangle that, and then make sure it goes the way that you envision it going. So,
Why, yes, there are many things to unpack with that sentence as well as line of thinking, but interesting that someone would say that and probably still be the type of person to get mad when women are online saying men are trash.
no, I think it's triggered by a specific word. Yeah, 'cause I don't think it's ever got mad about that stuff. Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
It's not my fault.
It's pretty specific.
It's not my fault. In my defense, I was at the time left unsupervised.
Yeah,
you had a whole dog. You had a whole dog. You replaced me with a whole dog.
That is none of their business. They will get that update at a later time. What I was doing at the time is irrelevant, but what I heard at the moment required engagement.
And listen, and don't get it wrong, ladies.
What?
Got some good hoes out
What
there.
should have been said.
What?
What it
What?
meant was, it's not that you can't do certain things. It's just that, just understand, because of how society is, you're going to be looked at differently for different things, and then you can decide how to proceed. That's how that should have came.
So what you're saying is the conversation should have been how it is a societal issue, not how it is her responsibility.
Yeah. That's probably more along the lines. Like, it's just that being the way that society is, you're going to be looked at differently for different things. Not that you can't do them. You have the right to do all the same stuff. Just know that because of these norms, this is how you're going to be looked at versus how this guy's going to be looked at for this exact same action.
And thusly, the division in our community becomes ever so visible.
Mm-hmm.
And where I've come to terms with that, after I've made my presentation of self, your perception of that self-presentation is not my problem. I ain't clearing nothing up no more. I'm not taking the time to over-explain what's right in front of you. If there's a specific question on something you don't understand in particular, sure, we can go over that. But if I said, because I'm not even saying, I'm going to show you. If I show you this is what's going to happen, but you were expecting something else, not my fault.
Boom.
Well, I mean, I don't know what you're looking at me for.
We just like your facial expressions.
She covered it just fine in that instance. Funny thing is, I had a conversation today when the person said, well, some women don't mind being called hoes. I went from being angry at this person to feeling pity for her. And I gotta say, I respect her that she came to this gentleman's defense. Very noble of you, madam. You have my unending respect for that.
So, as for me and my house, your mama a hoe. Hell no.
Don't do that.
No hoes here.
Cardi B said there's some hoes in her house.
Just people living their lives, so long as they don't harm anyone else, and so long as they're honest with themselves, so long as they're not fucking with anyone who isn't a consenting adult, then it's none of my fucking business. They are not a hoe for being the person they were before they met you. They are who they were. They are who they are. And you are not allowed to decide what that is.
It's hard not to talk about accountability. I know it's a whole episode, but it's just so perfect because it's just like we never look at it. We don't. But matter of fact, I had a good friend in college. He said he found out when he got older that his dad would cheat on his mom and all these things, but then she looked at him straight. They had a very nice house. They actually had very, very good lives. And she looked dead at him and she said, "I knew who your daddy was when we got married. I didn't stop being who I wanted to be." And I told him straight up, as long as he keep a roof over our heads and keep food in your mouth, I don't give a fuck what he does, because I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do too. And that was it. But then we act like we're surprised, like, "Whoa, wait, who are you? I can't believe that you did this," when you knew where y'all met. You knew what y'all did. You knew that thing you liked her to do, but now you're mad because she's doing it.
Remember that thing that you showed us that you found?
I show y'all a lot of things. Which one?
What the wild thing is up to?
Oh, yeah.
Remember my reaction? Well, I'm not surprised.
Disappointed. I'm not surprised.
Not even disappointed. Just, wow. Took
That's
you
the
that
thing
long?
that's happening.
Holy shit, took you that long? $15.
That's it?
Fuck no.
It's like, oh, you finally decided to evolve in the right you. Okay, all right.
Documentary of issues. And yet all I could think was, well, I'm not surprised.
Charging for what many of your fans have already gotten for free, huh?
Right. The very people that would pay you for this have already
seen it in 3D, if you will.
4D experience.
Oh, yeah. Smell-o-vision.
It is indeed Nickelodeon grade smell-o-vision.
Is there bonus content or something?
It's like the scratch and sniff panels from the
old movies?
No, it's like the scratch and sniff stickers that came in that issue of Nintendo Power for
Earthbound and
Earthbound.
And Mother.
For
Mother was the first.
Earthbound. It was like that. Oh man, that issue is like notorious for smelling like straight garbage because of those scratch and sniff stickers.
Why would I want to smell this game?
Why would you indeed, when a lot of the enemies were giant piles of puke, strange robot creatures, and clowns?
So, keeping in mind how a conversation starts is important too. Because now that I think about it, like when you go into like a business interaction, there's just a certain way that you greet each other. When you get and you meet your homeboys or something, there's a certain way you greet each other. So even though it still isn't the end all be all based on how somebody approached you, but chances are if dude comments that you got a nice booty, there's a good chance that anything else you talk about in their conversation is him trying to get at you. Whatever. I'm just saying. But even then, once again, that still doesn't necessarily mean that that's so. But at least that gives you some idea of, okay, well, this is probably what this is going to be and what it's not going to be.
You know, I always love saying context is key.
But isn't it weird that we're also assuming that a man can't have a conversation with a woman that isn't about her booty?
It's just how it starts off. If he starts off, hey, how you doing? He's probably not going to talk about your booty.
No,
you know what I mean?
Right, that's what I'm saying. But it's in this context, it's like he didn't even entertain that idea. It was, oh, this woman's in a committed relationship. She shouldn't be talking to a man at all.
If you wanted an antisocial girlfriend, that's who you should have been looking for. And if she chose you, that means she really liked you.
It was specifically on flirting in this case, too. It hasn't derailed yet. So it's just saying, like, if it starts off as flirting, then that conversation, like, it could go one way or another. But you can have conversations between men and women. We do it all the time.
Exactly.
Hi.
It's just so weird. It's weird.
Context is key. That's why we made sure that we heard what the actual question was. And then, because if you where the cannons are pointing right now, if you just came in on that, woo, you would know what to make of.
And I think this is where we got the attitude of where this problem we had later started. It's okay for him to say the wildest shit possible to me, but it's warranted that he smacked me upside my head because I said fuck you in return.
Oof. Oof.
No, he shouldn't. He's not saying you should smack somebody. He's saying that you don't want to put yourself in a position where it happens. But even with that, like, you're free to speak, like,
Absolutely.
what you feel. Like,
you're free to speak on your personhood if you feel invaded at all.
But like, I have a daughter. When she's older, and I go, okay, well, if you're in her situation, she'll be trained, and the general statement will be, and that's where my next point is. You can say what you want to, but can't nobody beat your ass. That's right. So it's like, so it'll be generally like, just don't say shit to people you can't beat up.
And she'll know how to drive a fucking tank.
Oh yeah, you know what we're talking about.
The tank.
I'm the greatest uncle ever. I show up with a dog as black as space and a fucking tank in a box.
A tank in a box?
That's gonna drive her mother crazy.
It's a tank in a box, Calais. Keeping it wholesome here.
Just for a little while. Palate cleanse.
Because you know what? I got mad for her.
Mm-hmm.
I got mad for little Callie. I got mad on a lot of ladies' behalf. But you guys are about to find out why.